Water doesn't always come from the sky in a way you can see coming. Sometimes it arrives in minutes, swallowing roads, homes, and entire neighborhoods before anyone has time to react. That's exactly what happened in central Kentucky, when hours of relentless, punishing rainfall turned quiet creeks into raging torrents and calm streets into rivers. By the time the sun rose on the aftermath, at least 4 people were confirmed dead. Emergency crews were stretched to their limits, and entire communities were left wondering how an ordinary stormy night had spiraled into one of the most devastating flash flood disasters the region had seen in years. At the center of it all was Madison County, and within it, the city of Richmond bore the brunt of nature's fury. Witnesses described water rising at a pace that seemed almost impossible. Streets that were dry 1 hour became impassable, swirling channels the next. Among the hardest-hit corridors was Tates Creek Road, where the floodwaters didn't just rise, they attacked. Homes, vehicles, and infrastructure along this stretch were torn apart by the sheer force of the surge, leaving behind scenes of destruction that residents will likely never forget. One image in particular captured the brutal power of the storm and spread like wildfire across social media. The Million Bible Church near Tates Creek Road, left severely damaged by the floodwaters. For many, that single image became a symbol of just how unforgiving this disaster truly was. Meanwhile, over on University Drive, entire residential neighborhoods were submerged, forcing emergency responders into hour after hour of relentless rescue and recovery work, pulling families from homes that had become islands surrounded by rushing water.
Oh, I hope there's no babies out there.
Yes, folks, that is cows in the bottom. They don't know which way to go, so you can get washed away. I know it.
As the rain kept falling, roads across the county transformed into fast-moving rivers, trapping motorists inside their vehicles and cutting off entire neighborhoods from the outside world. Local officials pleaded with residents to stay off the roads, but for many, the floodwaters arrived faster than any warning could spread. Firefighters, police officers, and emergency crews launched dozens of swift water rescue operations throughout Richmond, wading and boating into the chaos to save people trapped in cars, in homes, and in flooded streets. A race against time that stretched on for hours without pause. The scale of destruction forced major roads throughout Madison County to shut down entirely, swallowed beneath the rising water. Highways, intersections, and rural roads alike became death traps for anyone who underestimated the danger, while emergency crews worked tirelessly to map the damage and locate residents still stranded. As the situation spiraled further out of control, Richmond officials made the call to declare a local state of emergency, opening the door to faster resource deployment and the urgent setup of shelters for the growing number of displaced families. But Richmond was only the beginning. As the storm system continued dumping rain across the region, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear made the dramatic decision to declare a statewide state of emergency, acknowledging that this was no longer a single-county crisis. It was a threat sweeping across multiple communities, with officials warning that even more rainfall could prolong the danger for days to come.
Significant flooding starting to happen down here too. We got some washed out vehicles down there. It's kind of hard to make out. These businesses here are completely flooded out. It's actually picked up a couple cars over here and moved them now. We have some roadway coming up here. You can see the floodwater started to pick up the roadway.
Beyond Madison County, the devastation rippled outward. In Jackson County, torrential rain caused creeks to burst their banks with terrifying speed, triggering flash flood emergencies as crews scrambled to respond to flooded neighborhoods. Bullitt County, too, found itself battling serious flooding of its own. And in a moment that sent fresh waves of fear through nearby residents, a landslide struck part of a dam embankment, prompting authorities to urge evacuations as a precaution. Though officials were quick to clarify, there was no immediate indication the dam itself was failing. Still, the warning was a chilling reminder of just how unpredictable and far-reaching this disaster had become. Across the entire state, first responders worked around the clock, performing water rescues, clearing blocked roads, and reaching residents trapped inside homes surrounded by rising floodwaters. Behind the scenes, emergency management agencies coordinated tightly with local governments to keep the response as fast and effective as possible, even as conditions shifted by the hour. Through it all, officials kept repeating one simple, life-saving message: never, under any circumstances, attempt to drive through a flooded road. Even water that looks shallow and harmless can sweep a vehicle away in seconds. A lesson tragically reinforced by this storm, which dumped several inches of rain across Kentucky in an alarmingly short window of time. Combined with already saturated ground, the result was a flash flood event that escalated from just heavy rain to life-threatening emergency in a matter of hours, leaving responders with almost no time to prepare.
Yes, folks, that is cows in the bottom. They don't know which way to go, so you can get washed away. I know it.
As the floodwaters slowly began to retreat in some areas, the focus shifted from rescue to recovery, assessing the damage, clearing debris, and working to restore access to neighborhoods that had been cut off for days. Road inspections and infrastructure checks became the new priority, even as the emotional toll of the disaster continued to weigh heavily on affected communities. In the middle of all this devastation, something powerful emerged: people coming together. Community organizations, volunteers, and local shelters mobilized to support families who had lost everything, providing food, water, clothing, and the basic essentials needed to get through the darkest days of the aftermath. Even as the waters receded elsewhere, Madison County remained the epicenter of the disaster. Richmond, Tates Creek Road, University Drive,
I can't believe that fence held all that for all that time, that pressure, that's huge. I just hope my damn building don't blow through the fence. That'd suck.
And I've lived here since I was 50, and it's never been in my house. But look, my house is ruined. All because the creeks don't get cleaned out. Because there's no place that the water can go but around. So I don't know what to do now. My house is probably ruined. And it's probably going to have a whole new floor. It's all through my house. It's never been like this. Never, not one time has it ever been like this. My carpet's got to be taken up now.
Thank you so much for watching until the end. If this video moved you or opened your eyes to the raw power of extreme weather, please hit that subscribe button on Storm Strength so you never miss a new video. We're constantly bringing you the most powerful, real, and gripping storm coverage from around the world. So make sure you're subscribed, turn on notifications, and stay tuned for what's coming next.